Hello guys, today we learn Entity Framework in ASP.NET MVC. If we have need Visual Studio 2015 MVC 5 version SQL Server. Prior to .NET 3.5, we often used to write edu.NET code or enterprise data access block to save or retrieve application data from the database. We always used open a connection to database, create a dataset to fetch or submit the data to database, convert data from dataset to .NET objects, or vice versa to apply business rule. This was a cumbersome and error-prone process. Microsoft has provided a framework called Entity Framework to automate all these database-related activities for you. Let us see one diagram. There is UI, business layer, business entities, domain class. Then comes data layer, entity framework. After that, edu.NET entity data model. There is edmx file in edu.NET entity data model. Edmx is basically an XML file which is generated when we added entity framework model. It is entity data model XML which contain design model and code file. Three major schema of ADM: SSDL, storage schema definition language. It stores the schema of database which we can. CSDL, conceptual schema definition language. It stores the schema of CS file which generated for each table of database. This file defines the properties created for that table and all their relationship. Third one, ML, mapping language, or CS mapping. It stores the mapping of SSDL and CSDL. See how we achieve entity framework in MVC. Let us see. First, take a overview. Add entity data model. Second, it automatically generates partial class. Then you have to add controller and write code to populate product list and add view and write to code to show data. Now we have to achieve below output. You have used here entry framework and which take a record from database and show list of the products. Now comes real example. Open Visual Studio. Already I have opened. Now go to model folders and click on add new items. Click on data and select edu.NET entity data models, and here name of the model, model 1. Click on add. Now choose model contents. Here we have to take database which have already designed EF designer from database. Click on next button. Now I have to make a new connections. Now I have to put here server name. In my case, server name is this one. Putting here server name and click on SQL Server authentication, username and password, whatever you have. Take the password and select the database. Test DB I have selected and click on test connections. This get test connection succeeded. Click on OK button and OK. Here test DB introduce one is a database context, and now click on yes button and click next. And which version of entry framework do you want to use? Entry framework 6.x and click on next. Now we have to choose here table name from which I have to take the record. See here table products and test DB model, the model space name, and click on finish button. See here, model1.edmx file has been generated and designer mode and their each TBL product and their properties ID, name, cat ID, price and quantity you see here. Also you can see automatically class will be generated TBL products and their properties ID, name, cat ID, price and quantity, and that is partial class, and this is namespace MVC sample dot model. This is just like a model automatically created. Now I have to create a controller. Here we see one.edmx edu.net model context has been created. Now we have to go create a controller, add controller MVC5 controller, and in particular I have to click on add button, and name of the controller I have right here product list, and click on add button. Product list controller has been created. Now I have to write the code here to populate the data from the database. So go here, and here our DB context test1 DB entity is 11, and now I have to add a model. I have added namespace MVC sample dot models and delete this. Here you are getting where DB equal to new test DB entities, and define a list db.tbl products to list, and data of the products will be shown in list format, and that list will be shown in the view. Now I have to create the view for this controller. Right click and add a view. View name index template you have to choose empty and create as a partial view. You have selected here and add. Now your index view is created. Now I have to write a code to show the data. So we have to create a list. So we have used here enumerations, enumerable for collections, expose numerator which is supports a simple iteration over collections of specified type, and MVC sample dot models, and table product which take a properties of product class, and now we have to write the code. Here we define to get the record from the collection where for each loop where PR in model and PR.name plus PR.price, and here we have to print name, then we have define a class P and write at the rate name. Now run the applications. We will get here list of product from the database using the entity framework. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. If you want to more videos, please subscribe my YouTube channel.